It's Monday and I'm all alone. Nobody is here. Caitlin has another meeting that she has got to go and do, unfortunately, so you're stuck with me. You just have to deal with me. Hopefully that will be okay. We will see how it goes. We've already got someone who has joined in. Karen rolled in first, right off the bat. Congratulations. After the upset yesterday where she was absolutely first, but then wasn't able to get any of the points first, second, or third. I'm glad that you were able to get in and get it this time. So Emily is the second first, and then the second and the third as well. I see that you're going after a theme, Emily, that you just shotgun it and hope that something works. Close Calls is back. Hello, Close Calls. Welcome back. Let's see. Close Calls. Got you there. Who else? Danny is also here. And is third. Has gotten the third call. There we go. So we're up to our 4 players. 4 players so far out of the 10 that we need. I should probably add you all to this list as well so I can keep track, because we're going to do a matchup Monday today. And so I need to make sure I have a list of people when they came in so that we can match people up one against another for extra points. You get extra points today. Let's see. Danny, yeah, that's who was in next. Melissa, I see Melissa here with us. And Septic, excellent. This is good. We're getting up into the numbers. And yeah, all right, so this is good. Let's see, Melissa, need to get you on here. Septic, we'll need you here as well. Oh, Craig has joined the fray. I'm doing a bunch of different things, so I am probably not as entertaining as I could be. But hopefully I'm being somewhat accurate with people joining. Christina is here. Thank you. Dustin, for the first time, I think. If we had you on the show before, Dustin, I feel like this is a first for you. I definitely don't have you from this week. All right, let's get you in here. Dustin, oh no, we did have you once. That's right, because we were talking about your dance studio. It's been weeks, months. It's been months probably since we've had you on though. So we're glad to have you back. Thank you for joining us, Dustin. We're looking for one more. All we need is one more. We can go over some of the basics that we have. I kept Caitlin's camera here because we're supposed to try and make a sunset. I tried my best, or sunrise. And so hopefully this looks good. I also have some extra buttons and stuff that I've got all set up for her when she's here. And so I wanted to use them. So we miss you too. Yeah. But mostly Samantha and I chime in. Oh, okay. Well, good. You're both allowed to jump in and participate. It can be a group activity. All of the family can participate. Dr. Emily has hosted the stream. Thank you, Emily. We appreciate that. You do get a point for hosting the stream on Twitch. You also get a point for sharing the show on Facebook. You can see that because there's an alert that shows up here at the bottom. So that's you get a point for that. Basically, if you share it publicly or in a public group. If you're going to just do it for an individual, if you're going to post, like there's somebody you think that would really enjoy trivia, then you'd want to do just the @ symbol on Facebook and let them know that you're doing trivia just in the chat. And you'll also get a point for that, though. So still get a point, just a slightly different way of doing it. All right. One more person. That's all we need. A single person joining the ring. We've got 9. Obviously, we need double digits. That's the rules. We need 10 people to have a quorum for trivia. For those who are new here, very simply, we're going to ask a question. You're going to put the answer in the chat. If you get it correct, you get a point. If you're the first one to get it correct, you get 2 points. There is an exception tonight, though, because it is a matchup Monday. So that means that you are going to be matched up with one other person at some point in time in the show. Not every question, but at some point in time. Everyone will answer that question, but with those 2 matchups, you have a chance to be able to get more points. If you're the first one to get it right between those 2 people, you get 5 points. Rob is here. Look at that. All right, Rob. We're getting you in here. Rob, haven't had you on. All right, Rob is joining us. All right, I've got you on the list. Let's get you here as well. All right, so this is awesome. We've got our 10 people. So the matchups work really simply. I'm going to mention 2 people. They're going head to head. Everybody still answers the question as normal, but those 2 people have an opportunity to win 5 points on that particular question. Hopefully everybody will have an opportunity to do that. Caitlin's at another meeting right now, so she has to go do some board stuff for the organization that she's on the board for. So unfortunately can't be here. But we've got 10 people, so we can get started. Let's do this. All right. So question number 1. Everybody, you're in such luck because it is Monday. Mondays are easy. Mondays are the easiest days you could possibly join us for. So you should be able to get a bunch of these questions, and you should be able to do them pretty quickly. It gets harder on Tuesday, more so Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday really starts getting difficult. Sunday is our hardest day. But we're starting fresh, brand new season. Don't forget, all of the points that you earn put you in the running for another Wasted Hour t-shirt, just like this one. A bunch of you have already gotten it. Someone new will be announced at the middle of this game. So after question 5, remind me, we're going to announce the winner from last season. And then you could be the winner for this season, quite possibly. All right, so let's start with question number 1. We're going to put 60 seconds on the clock. Question number 1 is, what number is found in reference to their varieties on Heinz products? There's a number associated with the varieties that they have. What number is that? This first one's going Karen versus Emily, by the way. I forgot to announce that, but there you go. So number of varieties on their Heinz products. Rob says, what? Come on, this isn't hard. Like, sometimes you would hit the bottle on this number. That might be another hint for it as well. There's about 20 seconds left. All right, so let me go. I'm gonna have to go to my questions. This is good. Okay. We've got a lot of people answering, which is great. That's fantastic. That's what we're hoping to see, is a bunch of people answering. Time's up, so we're going over to the chat. And I'm going to try and kind of look through the answers and see if I can get everybody's involvement in this. Oh, I have to go over to Facebook. I just realized I'm not launched into it, so I got to go check that. Gotta check that out. Because I want to make sure that I'm giving everybody time to answer. And Facebook tends to be a little bit slower, a little farther behind. So that's probably what you were seeing, Rob, is that Facebook is a little behind compared to everybody else. So, let's see. Okay, there. Yeah. So we're on. Time's up over there on our. I want to make sure that turn off. I don't want you there. I'm also going to share the show. I should totally share the show. Too many things happening at once. It is my own damn fault. You can see the alert over there in the corner, over down there. That's what you get if you share publicly. Okay, so a lot farther behind? Is it a lot? I don't know if it's a lot farther behind. All right, so time's up over on Facebook as well. The answer is 57, right? There's 57. You hit the 57 on the bottle, things like that. Yeah, if you want to go faster, you definitely, Twitch is your way to go. YouTube tends to be second fastest, but you can still participate over on Facebook. It's just a little behind, but don't worry, I'm going to make sure that you get your entire 60 seconds as well. So if it takes longer to get to Facebook, I wait for Facebook to catch up before I call time on it. So don't feel like you're going to get screwed on it. It's just going to be a little harder to get the first answer. But that's something that if you decide to go over to Twitch, you get an advantage for speed, but you get a little less time, I think, to think over the question. All right, so Craig also shared. Oh, thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. So let's take a look. We're looking at all the things. It looks like close calls. You got the 2 points for getting it first. Melissa gets a point. Let's see, who else? Karen gets a point. Septic, you get a point as well. And Danny gets a point. Craig gets a point. Emily gets a point. Almost everyone, it looks like. Let's see. Dustin and Rob get a point. Christina, I didn't see an answer from you. Christina, we missed you. Where did you go? I thought I would be finally hearing you. I thought you'd be owning this one. This is a good one. Christina, you still around? All right, so now we've got all the points that were answered. We are going to figure out who gets the 5 points, if anyone. It looks like both Karen and Emily were against each other. Both of them got it correct. And it looks like Karen was first. Karen was the first one. So Karen's going to get the 5 points instead of the 1. Good pickup there. And let's make sure we take note here. So we're going to try and wrap back around and give people opportunities to go again if they don't get it the first time. All right, our next matchup, everybody. Oh, wow, 96. That is amazing. I'm never going to make it that long. There's no chance. Our next one's going to be Close Calls versus Danny. Danny and Close Calls head to head on this next one. Question number 2. Let's do this. Question number 2, 60 seconds on the clock. What temperature centigrade does water boil at? What temperature in centigrade does the water boil at? Septic, I know you're going to have this one down. You're over there in the UK. I feel like you've got a really good chance at this one. So let's hope. Let's hope you have this one. And it's between Close Calls and Danny. Close Calls and Danny. Now keep in mind, if you get the right answer first, you don't get 7 points, right? You don't get a bonus point or 6 points. You still get the 5 if you're in the shootout. You don't get the extra one normally. But if somebody beats you to it, then you would get that. So something to keep in mind. Let's see. We've got a lot of answers coming in. They seem pretty consistent. That's probably good. This is Monday. We're expecting some pretty consistent answers, I would expect. Time's up. We're going to go over to the chat and wait for Facebook to catch up. And hopefully, let me see if I can get all of the points in. Assuming anyone gets points. Everybody might be wrong. There is a chance. I think Christina may have snuck away. Unfortunately, we are very sad. That means we've snuck down to 9. I'm just saying, we usually have to have 10, and we've snuck back down to 9. So you're in luck that we're continuing this. All right, so we have gone over on Facebook as well. Time is up there, so let's take a look at the actual answer. And the actual answer may not surprise many of you. It is 100 degrees Celsius. Or centigrade. Is that Celsius? Centigrade? Are those the same thing? I don't know. I feel like I'm saying those two things differently. Anyhow, yes. The answer is 100. 100 degrees C. Is Celsius and centigrade the same thing? I feel like I've used those two interchangeably, right? Is that... It's weird to me that I just realized that those are two different words, but I've used them pretty interchangeably. We don't have 2 for Fahrenheit, right? Centigrade is... They're not the same. Okay. Centigrade is 100. What is it Celsius then? I thought Celsius was 100 too. That's very weird. We'll figure that out at another time. All right, so Emily has given us it looks like the math in order to do it. All right, that's good. If we ever need to figure out something in centigrade, this is how we'll be able to do that. All right, so good. Everybody, pretty much everyone got this. I think since we've lost Christina, we can assume she would have gotten it correct if she was here. All right, let's move on to question number 3. This one is going to be between Melissa and Septic. Melissa and Septic going head to head. Here we are, question number 3. What company is also the name of one of the longest rivers in the world? What company is also the name of one of the longest rivers in the world? That's what we need to know. In the world. In a world where there's a river named similarly to a company. That is this movie. It'd be a very boring movie, I feel like. All right. So we've got answers coming in. That's good. I'm glad to see that. All right. Somebody at some point will explain centigrade and Celsius to me. And I will be smarter because of it. At some point in my life, I will be smarter because of that. Because in my head, I thought that they were maybe the same thing. I feel like I've used them interchangeably, which is wrong. It sounds like from what people were saying. All right, time's up. Let's go to the chat. And we'll see what people... We'll wait for Facebook to catch up and see what people were answering. Oh, did you just go off what everybody else was answering, Emily? Is that... You decided that was the correct answer? If you had all just gone with something else, she would have just gone with you on it. It sounds like, at least. Let's see. And then Justin and Rob as well got answers in. This is good. Everybody. Yes, fun fact about temperature. The reason water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, not 0 Fahrenheit, is that 0 is salt water freezing, not fresh water. Oh, that is very interesting. I didn't know about that piece. That's fascinating. All right, that is good to know. Boated down the Amazon River. That is right. All right. So let's see. The answer is... I forgot to do time is up. I should do time is up, just so people see it. Is the Amazon, right? Amazon... River, Amazon, the company, Blue Nile, yes. But Nile Corp or Blue Nile, yeah, I think we all knew what we were going with. And so, yeah, I don't, on the grand scheme of things, is the Nile terribly long compared to other things? I'm wondering what the longest rivers are and where the Nile ranks. The Amazon's very long, but I'm not sure where it ranks versus Ganges Inc. Yeah, I think we all did forget about Ganges Inc. All right, so that was up against Melissa and Septic. Melissa and Septic, and it looks like Melissa was able to pull that one. So 5 points goes over to Melissa. Septic's hopefully going to get another chance here later in the show. Again, we're going to try and go through everybody and then wrap back around so that the people who didn't get points get another opportunity to get points. This time we're going to have Craig and Christina, but there's no Christina. Oh, that's going to make it harder. All right, so I'm going to take Christina off this list because Christina has disappeared. I want to give her an opportunity, but I think we can fairly say that since she has not answered anything correctly, that that we are going to have to go and try something, try someone else. I'm going to skip over Craig for this moment because Dustin and Rob are both on Facebook, and I think that that makes it more fair. We already know that they've been answering a little slower than everybody else because of Facebook. So I'm going to have Dustin and Rob go head to head on this one. Then we'll wrap back around and get Craig with somebody who's on one of the other platforms. I think that that's only the right way to do it. All right, so we're going to go to question number five. Dustin and Rob, you're going head to head on this one. Whoever gets the answer first gets 5 points if it's correct. And the person who gets it second gets 1 point. So let's go to question number 4. Question number 4. Question number 4 is, who devised the theory of natural selection in his works, The Origin of Species? Who devised the theory of natural selection in his works, The Origin of Species? All right, you have about 40 seconds left to get the answers in. Lots of people, different answers. I didn't ask for the full name, so just that might make it a little easier for some folks. But again, this is a Monday, so not a lot of trick questions happening here. Most people will probably get this. We will see, though. We'll see what people come up with. I'm going through and checking to see if anyone gets points. Just one by one to see if anyone gets a point. Oh, Shaggy has joined us. Welcome, Shaggy. You've filled in for our 10th person since somebody has left. So that actually worked out really well. I'm glad we skipped around. We're going to go to the chat because time is up. And we'll wait for Facebook to catch up and see what correct answers have come in. Let's see. Let's see. We had Rob and Dustin. Rob was able to get an answer in first, but Dustin, we have to find out if that answer is correct. That's the tricky bit. All right. Let's go over to Facebook now because it is caught up. And the correct answer is Charles Darwin, right? It's Darwin who did the theory of evolution and natural selection, which is a part of that. All right. So on this one, it looks like it was Dustin versus Rob. And I think Rob got this one first. So 5 points goes to Rob. Dustin gets a point for getting it also correct. And now we have a new contender. So Shaggy has joined just in time, and this is going to work out well. Our next pairing is going to be Craig versus Shaggy. Shaggy and Craig going head to head on this matchup. They're both on Twitch, so it makes it super fair, I think, on that. So we're going to do question number 5, Craig versus Shaggy. Here we go. Question number 5. Who is the founder and figurehead of Microsoft who went on to become one of the world's richest men? Oh, lots of answers coming in very quickly. People answering very quickly here. Question number, what is this? Question number 5, right? All right, let's see who gets it in. Close Calls comes in with the first answer. We, of course, do not know if it was the correct answer. That is we won't find that out until time is up. We've got 20 more seconds. So I can't tell you if that is correct or not, but definitely the first answer. It does seem like people are following with that answer afterwards. So that seems like a good sign, perhaps. Let's see. We've got lots of people answering. Monday is definitely the easiest. Time's up. We're going to go over to the chat and wait for Facebook to catch up before throwing down the time is up in the chat. And hopefully that'll give me time to score everybody else. By the way, there should be no billionaires. No billionaires. That is interesting. I think, there's one thing I have to say about that, and I'll get onto that here in a moment, right? And then we can talk more about it at some other point in time if we would like. But all right. So, I didn't actually see an answer from. Oh no, there's Shaggy. Shaggy got an answer in as well. Okay, good. So everybody's answering except Christina, who left us. The correct answer is Bill Gates. That is absolutely correct. So everybody got that. Looks like Craig gets the 5 points, just a little bit faster than Shaggy on this one. But we'll wrap back around and give people another opportunity to be able to go head to head. So I wanted to speak a little bit to what Melissa was saying, which is there should be no billionaires. And I just want to say this thing because I feel like some people don't have this one understanding. And I see it on Facebook a lot where people are like, if I had like $100 billion, I would be solving all these problems and things like that. And I think that's great. I think we should, right? I think that I agree on that. I think in an ideal world, it would be cool to like somehow like have like a salary cap, right? That's like directly related to like the minimum wage, right? Or something like that. So you could say like, if like people, if the minimum wage is $17 an hour, right? Then like the maximum wage is like $17 million a year, right? Like that seems like more than enough at that point. And so if you'd like to make $18 million a year, all you have to do is lobby to get the minimum wage put to $18 an hour, right? Or something like that. Or if it's, if the, the minimum wage works out to being, $35,000 a year, then the maximum wage should be, $35 million a year or whatever it is. I think that would be an interesting thing. They do that over at Ben and Jerry's. That company actually, whoever, like the person who makes the least amount of money, the janitor or whoever it is, I have no idea who it is, but somebody who makes the minimal amount, the smallest amount, that amount is tied to what the founders of Ben and Jerry's make. So they can't make more than a certain percentage more or times more than that. So they have to pay the person who makes the least, they have to pay them more in order to give themselves a raise. I thought that was really interesting. The thing I want to clear up, which I think is important to know because I've seen some people who are a little misguided on this, is that people like Jeff Bezos, for instance, right? When they say that he's worth like $180 billion, right? They talk about his net worth. It's $180 billion. And we have to keep in mind that doesn't mean that he has $180 billion like of money sitting around, right? It's not, he doesn't have like a big bank account with even maybe $1 billion in it, right? He may be a millionaire in terms of kind of liquid assets. It's what it is he owns like 12% of Amazon, and Amazon's valuation is like $1.5 trillion, right? So he would have to like sell his company to somebody else, to the Chinese or something, and retire. And like just he would have to sell all his stock to have that money to do things with. Now, would that be a great thing for him to do? Sure. But I don't know that we should be forcing people to have to sell things. So in terms of net worth, like, I don't know if that's the right thing to say, like, oh, okay, you have $1 billion worth of assets. You have to sell them all. You have to turn it into money, and you can't make any more money. Like, that's a weird thing to me. I do hope that at the point in time when he retires and takes stock out, that he is, putting money into the economy and or not the economy, but like society and things like that. So I agree with that, and I'd love to find ways to try and cap some of those things. I just think it's worth noting that, like, you know, like if my mom is a millionaire, it because of assets, like she would have to sell, you know, houses and things and not have a place to stay in order to like have that money to like make a difference in something. And so that's something to keep in mind. Just something to keep in mind, because I think it's good to have that perspective. But I agree with you. We have a lot of people with a lot of money, and that seems disproportionate. And if we're having issues where people don't have money, right, it seems like getting money from people who have a ton of money is probably a really good resource. But it is interesting because we live, yeah, you could 100% tax on income after a certain amount. Like I having a cap like that, I don't know. I'm sure some people will say it is un-American and things like that, but I know during certain portions of our time as the U.S., we've had taxes on 90% of somebody's income, above a certain amount, right? And if your theory is that, well, then they're not going to work so hard, like, oh, okay, like, do you think they're really just going to be like, if I can't make more money this year, right, then I'm just going to play Minesweeper on my computer and let Amazon fail, because what else am I going to do, right? Like, why should I even try? I think that is undermining like the competitive nature of the people who do this, right? When you become uber rich like that, it's because you have a drive to work and succeed at things. And I think they do that. They work for more than just making another $1 billion. I think they work to be able to make a legacy and to make a change and make something better and be the best at something. So yeah, I think they work no harder than anyone else. I mean, probably true at this moment, but a lot of them have, like, I know people who are CEOs, and a lot of CEOs are working like 80-hour weeks and 60-hour weeks, right? They put a lot of time. They're always on call and they are constantly working, and it affects their families quite a bit. Does that mean they deserve $100 million? I don't know if that is the case. They do have better opportunities, but some people have built things from the ground up, right? So I don't know. I think it's probably a very it's a very nuanced problem that we need to try and solve. I think it's going to be more complicated than just saying, like, if you have $1 billion, you don't get to have $1 billion. Like that. I don't know that that's going to work so well. Sure. Absolutely. And that's also a problem, Emily. Like, at that point, you should be getting paid more. Like, you're working for something other than money at that point, right? Because if you were trading your time for money, you'd be making more, right? You would find another opportunity. That's important, and I think people should do that. But yeah, so there we go. Amazon should absolutely pay a better wage and healthcare and things like that. I agree with those types of things. There's enough money going through that entity. Granted, I don't know the economies of size over there, but I'd be very surprised that they don't have the ability to be able to provide those things. But I think it's important to look at the whole problem, right? Because if we just say, like, eat the rich, like, that's not going to get us anywhere, right? So how do we do it in a thoughtful way? How do we do it in a manner that benefits the people who really need it in a thoughtful way from the people who can provide it? So that's my thought. Probably not like liberal enough for anyone to be on board, and obviously on the Republican side they'd hate me. But that's kind of my life, is just being hated by everyone. All right, let's talk about who has won the last season of this show. It's going to be a little ironic, everybody, because and Emily says just has a knife and fork and plate. That's good. I think that's a great plan. It's just not a plan. It's just eat rich. That's cool. Like all they're going to do is take their money and go put it in Aruba. And then you'll have to track them down, and they have more money to hide things than you have money to like enforce it. And it's gonna the same way they do it with corporations. If you think that they are unethical already, do you think that like if they're unethically keeping money that could be used for good causes, and you think that that's the type of person they are, they're just gonna go like screw go find other ways to screw everyone. So we just have to have a good plan. That's all I'm saying. Your CEO goes home at 5 and makes almost 200K. Absolutely. Now that they have other workers doing things, that is what, as soon as you reach a point where you can have other people doing that work and affording that. But at some point in time, I would assume that CEO had to like work long hours and things. I don't know. It sounds like, Emily, you're in a terrible situation. I would highly suggest going to a different situation if you have an opportunity. I'd be happy to pass your resume around if you're interested. The problem is living in a world of money in general. As long as there's money, there will be rich people. Yep, because as long as you can hoard something, people will hoard something. And if it's not money, it'll be water. And if it's not water, it'll be air. And it'll be all kinds of things. Absolutely. But apparently not an awesome one in its way it's being run. I think a lot of nonprofits will take advantage of people because you're doing good. And so they're like, hey, you're doing good, so don't expect as much money. And because of the goodness of the doing. So I don't know. Probably not super entertaining to talk about. There's the thing. Let's move. So what we need to do is figure out who won last season. Who is going to get a t-shirt once we see them, because they are not here. And that answer is Ian. Yeah, he's been around forever. He has not gotten a t-shirt yet. He has got the most points last week of any of the people who have not gotten a t-shirt. So he is our winner for next week. If you see Ian, say hey. But yeah, that is absolutely who is our winner. So if you see him, let him know. Let's move on, since we're already... we're not doing so bad time-wise. Let's move on to question number 6. This is going to be between Emily and Danny. Emily and Danny going head-to-head on question number 6. 60 seconds going on to the clock. Let's start this bad boy. How many items are in a baker's dozen? Emily and Danny going head-to-head. Let's see what people are able to get the answer. Lots of answers coming in. Fast and furious. Like the franchise. Is there a baker's dozen of those movies? That's the question. That's what we need to find out. Important people want to know if that is the case. Let's see. Making sure I get everyone who is answering. All right. Emily and Danny answered very close to one another. Very, very close. Oh, I've got to get Trey in. I forgot to add you to the list, Trey. All right. Time is up. Let's go to the chat. We'll go through and make sure everybody's answers get accounted for. And let's see. Dustin also answered. Did I see Karen answer? I feel like I missed Karen, maybe. Is there no Karen? Did we lose Karen? Oh, no. I think we lost to Karen. All right. That is time over there on Facebook as well. Let's. The answer is, as many of you might have guessed, is 13. 13 items. Shaggy went with 1, which is not correct. That is incorrect. I'll give you a style point for a baker's dozen just being 1. I assume 1 dozen? Was that what you were going for on that one? Just Price is Right. Yeah, might have been. Emily's problem is she doesn't hear the question until 7 people have already answered. And Emily speaks to her about herself in third person. So question here, if Emily had thrown a Danny, who would have won? That is a good question. I think in the face-off, I feel like it would have been the person who got the answer correct. Like, legitimately. So in this case, I would have probably given to Danny. I guess we'd have to go to the Wheel of Fate and decide, right? Shaggy says all you need is 1. 1 is all you need. That's not how that song goes. But Danny does get 5 points. So we're going to move on to... let's see. Oh, I forgot to put you on this list as well, Trey. Septic and Dustin. Septic and Dustin are going to go head to head on question number 7. Question number 7. Unless it's about cats, then you need 2 at least. All right. Septic and Dustin, question number 7. Let's do this. What is the tallest mountain in the world? It is Monday, everybody. What is the tallest mountain in the world? Tallest mountain in the world. Let's see what people get this. Is it getting a little harder? I don't know. I'm not sure. Septic goes with Kilimanjaro, the tallest mountain in Africa. That is a fact. Shaggy says there's a poop mountain that perhaps is the largest. Is that what you're going with? The poop mountain? Emily is coming in as well with... We've got a lot of people saying Kilimanjaro, and we have some people with Mount Everest. All right. Let's see. Want to get everybody their points. Time's up. We're going to go over to the chat and fill out everybody's answers here. Let's see. Make sure I get everyone's answers. Oh, I see. Trey's being sneaky. Trey is being very sneaky. I see what you're going with here. Again, no Karen. We lost out on Karen. Karen has been pulled away for some reason. So hopefully everything's okay over there. Emily, maybe vote off me was not was a bad idea. I'm sorry. Oh no. The correct answer is Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world, is seen as the tallest mountain in the world. That is from sea level is where we measure that. Interestingly enough, Trey went with another answer, which is Mauna Kea, which is it Kea or Loa that are? But it's a volcano, and it goes. It actually, the slope of it goes into the sea and all the way down to the floor of the sea. And if you measure from the base of the volcano at the bottom of the ocean to the top of the volcano, it is significantly larger than Mount Everest. So there we go. Yeah, you overthought it. It's Monday, Septic. It is Monday. You don't need to overthink it. Oh my goodness. We will give a style point to Shaggy for the poop mountain, which is not correct, but would be horrifying. That would be a horrifying thing to say. And then Septic and Dustin went head to head. Septic, unfortunately, did not get it correct, and Dustin did. So Dustin's going to get the 5 points on that one. And we're going to move on to question number 8. I legitimately thought that everyone thought it was Everest, but it was really Kilimanjaro. Oh, interesting. Oh, no, Everest is definitely it's taller than Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro is definitely the tallest peak in Africa. It's one of the, what is it, the 7 summits? And so, yeah, North America, I think it's like, was it like Mount McKinley or something like that, which I think is now Denali, right? And Kilimanjaro is definitely the tallest one in Africa. And then I think Everest is Asia. I think that's considered Asia. And then I don't remember what Europe is. Oh, okay. K is the larger of the two. Okay. Mount Fuji is okay. So Europe then is yeah, no, if Mount Fuji is the tallest in Japan, but I don't think the tallest in Asia. I think that is considered Mount Everest, right? And then what about Europe? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a country, right? The country of Europe. Blanc? Oh, that would make sense. Mont Blanc might be it. That's a good call. And I forget the one in Antarctica, but it's terrible. It's apparently like the worst one because like the weather's terrible and getting to it is terrible and everything is horrible. And then I don't know Australia either. I don't think it's the Maru or whatever, the red rock in the middle. I don't think it's that one. I think it's something else. But yeah. Final countdown mountain in Europe. All right. Europe is kind of a country. It's the EU sort of. Mount Vinson. That sounds right. Anyhow, so yeah, let's move on to question number 8. Question number 8 is going to be between Shaggy and Trey. Shaggy and Trey are going to go head to head on this one for question number 8. Question number 8, Shaggy and Trey. What nickname is given to the Motion Picture Academy Awards ceremony? So the ceremony where they give away the Motion Picture Academy Awards. What is the nickname for that event? What is the nickname of that event? Shaggy says Beavis. That is great. Now that I don't think that that's correct, Shaggy, but you do get a style point for that. A lot of people saying Oscars. Some saying the Grouch of Oscars, perhaps. All right. Looks like I've got to go through and possibly give people points. Possibly, because we don't know if it's right. Remember, we're not sure until the very end if this is at all correct. Yes, it's a Monday. Yes, it could be very easy, but we don't know for sure. Right? Let's go to the chat because time is up. But there is a chance that people are correct. There is a chance. What are we learning? We're learning that some of these are slower. So you're saying Twitch on my iPad is even slower than on my phone. Interesting. I'm Cornholio. I need TP for my bunghole. Come out with your pants down. Question is also incorrect. MPAA is an industry org. Oh, all right. An industry. All right. MPAS is that hosts the awards. Interesting. Okay. That is good to know. I thank you for everyone knowing that anyway. I'll give nobody points because obviously that was a trick question. Nobody gets any points. No, that's not true. Unfortunately, Shaggy did not get the correct answer. Trey did. So 5 points to Trey. It is indeed the Oscars. MPAA was a scam. Okay. So it is the, American Motion Picture Association. Is that what it is? Not the MPAA is not the Academy of Motion Picture Arts. Oh, interesting. All right. So that we're learning things. Everyone, we're learning things. This is so exciting. All right, we've only got a couple of questions left. And only a couple of people who haven't gotten points from these matchups. So we're going to go and give people a final chance to get some points. So we're going to go to question number 9, which is our second to last question. It is just before question number 10. It is your second to last opportunity to get a point or multiple points. And our next question will be our last question. This is going to be a matchup between Emily and Septic. Emily and Septic going head to head. Let's see who gets it right. Question number 9 is, what is 1/3 of 1/2? That's what we need to know. What is 1/3 of 1/2? 1/3 of 1/2 is the answer we need. 1/3 of 1/2 would give us the answer that we need. Oh, answers are coming in. This is good. Shaggy has gone with one banananth. 1 banananth of something. That is definitely a style point, Shaggy, for 1 banananth. I didn't know that was a fraction that you could even make. That's new and different to me. 1 banananth of the economy is bananas. All right, so people are answering in. Time is almost up. Get your answers in, please. We're going to the chat. We're going to wait for Facebook to catch up and hopefully give us, we'll be able to give you the answer, and then people will know if they were correct. Let's see. All right. Lots of people getting in here with it. That's good. Glad to see that. I don't know, folks. Time is up over on Facebook, and I believe that we may have a controversy. We might have a controversy. So it looks like most people said 1/6. Shaggy said 1 bananath. That is obviously not correct, but that is perfectly hilarious. Boy, I'm glad Close Calls got that right. And Emily is just going off whoever answers first. And Dustin went with 1/8. Unfortunately, that is not correct. Here's the one that we may need to go to the Wheel of Fate for. 2/12. 2/12 is it's not wrong, but it is also not right. Like, you would get a point off if you put that on your test, right? Everybody, like, if you were in a math class and you put 2/12, you know that your teacher would have given you a point off on that, right? The proportions are right, but it isn't simplified, and that's part of the math, right? I feel like the only way that we can fairly determine this is if we go to the Wheel of Fate. All right, Wheel of Fate. Tell us, should Septic get a point for 2? You would only get a point off if it specified simplest form in the directions. All right, let's do this. Wheel of Fate. Do we give a point to Septic? Do we give a point to Septic on this one? We need to find out. Let's see what the Wheel of Fate says. How about no? Sorry. Wheel of Fate has spoken. There's nothing I can do about it. It is beyond my control. I'm sorry. You got to simplify your fractions. Not my call. Wheel of Fate said it. The The winner here was Emily, though. Emily gets the 5 points for getting the correct answer. Oh, you're going to have to challenge fate? Why? Why are you going to challenge fate? The fate is all-knowing. The Wheel of Fate. There's nothing I can do about it. It wasn't me. I would have given it to him. Personally, I feel like it was right. But the Wheel of Fate decided otherwise. Let's go on to question number 10. All right. Question number 10 is going to be our final face-off, our final matchup. It's going to be between Dustin and Shaggy. Dustin and Shaggy, the last opportunity. Fate can't do math. I mean, Septic the answer was right. It was not simplified. I think that's a thing you should. I was always taught that you have to simplify it. That's what I'm just saying. He won yesterday before the game was over because of the wheel. That's true. The entire game was called because of the Wheel of Fate. Just saying. So I feel like the Wheel of Fate, very even about things. I didn't say it needed to be because it needs to be. It's just a fact. It has to be. That is just good math. The Wheel of Fate agrees. It's the one that made the decision. Let's go to question number 10. Again, this is Dustin and Shaggy. Last question of the night. Let's do this. Question number 10. How many herbs and spices are there in KFC chicken? How many herbs and spices are there in KFC chicken? That's what we need to know for question number 10. All right, let's see what people get. Let's see the answers. People are very upset by the fact that the Wheel of Fate did not allow him to get those points. There's a lot of upset people here, and that I understand. The Wheel of Fate is just, it's mean and uncaring. I mean, I only have a whole PhD in math education, but the wheel definitely knows. I mean, do you have a degree in Wheel of Fate? 16 to Shaggy. Where are the other ones coming from, Shaggy? What other? You need to name them all now. What if there are 16 and there's been a lie this entire time just to throw us off the scent? What if that is the case? Time's up. Let's go over to the chat. We'll wait for Facebook to catch up. There are 5 secret ones. Dustin says as many as it takes for a heart attack. Let's see. Fun fact, the KFC Twitter account follows 11 people, 5 Spice Girls, and 6 guys named Herb. MSG is 7 of them. Oh, you guys crack me up. All right. Time is up over on Facebook as well. Dustin, I didn't see an actual answer, just the heart attack answer. So I'm going to give you a style point, but it's not going to affect your totals, unfortunately. All right. So 16 and 11 are the ones that we've seen. The answer is 11 herbs and spices. Both Shaggy and Dustin didn't answer correctly. So no points for the matchup. Unfortunately, go out a wash on that one. First person to get it was close calls. So that is the end of the show. Now we've got to go check our shares, because remember, you can also get points by sharing the show. If you share the show on Facebook, you get points, if you do it publicly at least. And if you host the show on Twitter, you also get points. So now I've got to go through and make sure that the people who did each of these actions get points. And so I have to go through a big song and dance where I've got to view my page as a visitor in order to see who shared. It's very weird that way. I'm not sure why. It looks like just me and Craig. Just Craig and I did the sharing. So 1 point to Craig for sharing the show. We appreciate that. And let's go see who hosted over on Twitch. Emily gets a point. And Trey gets a point. And Septic also gets a point. All right, so 4 points going out for sharing. We appreciate that. And then let's go. And let's see. What do we need? Oh, we're going to see who the winner is for today. No, it's Volga. What's that? Yay for style, yeah. Well, it's Volga. What's Volga, Septic? All right, let's take a look at today. Let's see what today is. Who is our winner for today? That's what we need to find out. Looking at all of the points for the entire day, our winner, everyone, are you ready? The winner for today is Close Calls. Close Calls, you have won the night. So you get an acceptance speech. Type that out in the chat and let us know what color you would like the studio for tomorrow's show. All right, and we will read your acceptance speech on the show and change the color tomorrow to whatever you would like. So those congratulations to Close Calls. Well done. While we're waiting on that, everyone, let's go over some of the business of this show. We are up to season number 18. Last season, we had 3 cancellations. So we're getting towards the end of things. We're figuring out what the future of the show might look like. And so please join us at another Wasted group on Facebook. Let us know what you think would be kind of the best way to move forward for the show. And while you do that, you can also like us on Facebook at Another Wasted Hour, Instagram at Another Wasted Hour, and Twitter at A Wasted Hour. Whenever we can't do the show, we're going to post up there if it's for technical reasons or we don't have enough people, just to let you know what's going on. However, we try to do the show at 7 o'clock every night, so jump on to Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. Hit subscribe or follow. Turn on the notifications so that you'll know when we go live, because you can get points for being one of the first people here. And not to mention, not only that, we also have a podcast called Another Wasted Hour. That's what launched all of this, and hopefully we'll be starting that again here in the near future. So go to anywhere you would get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, any of those and more. Search for Another Wasted Hour, subscribe, give us a review and some stars, take a listen. Hopefully you enjoy it. Lots of fun comedy, and there's some trivia, some crazy news, and you'll be exposed to some music from the Washington, D.C. area that you may have never heard of before. Very talented people. So go check that out, and it's free. There's 140 episodes. Go check it out, because it costs you nothing but an hour of your time that you will waste. So maybe don't do it. All right, so that is all of the business. Let's go take a look at the speech here. It looks like Close Calls has posted something. We're looking for pink and blue if possible. Yeah, we can try that. We've got some lights below and some lights above, so we'll try and make that work. Close Call says, I would like to take this opportunity to protest Taco Bell's removal of potatoes and quesadillas from the menu. This is a travesty. Quesadillas are the lifeblood of this country. I think we can all agree with that. Yes, grillers were taken too soon. There you go. So there it is. We need to fight back against Taco Bell's oppression of quesadillas and grillers. It is unfortunate. They simplified their menu, and it is just an abomination. Danny says it's a fantastic podcast that has some great educational information and information you never thought you needed to know, but you do. So go check it out. Another Wasted Hour. They need to bring back the Frito burritos. They have a Frito burrito. I think it's on their dollar menu. I have seen it. It's like a beefy Frito burrito or something like that. So go to Taco Bell. We're not sponsored by Taco Bell, but we have eaten food from Taco Bell. I know the nacho fries were a thing for a while. That was weird to me. Fries at Taco Bell. It was just, I don't know. I would have rather have had like tacos, like chip strips or something, and those be like the fries. I don't know. They just tried too hard, it felt like. Anyhow, that is the entire show, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Say goodbye to all of the other lovely people in the chat. Hopefully, we will see you all tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern time. With that said, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. If you're going out, make sure you take the appropriate steps to keep yourself safe and healthy, because we don't want to see you getting sick or dying or anything. That would be very, very sad. Shout out to all the people who have been essential workers during this time. We appreciate the sacrifice that you have made. And what else? What else could possibly be said? That's about it. That's really about it. So we don't have a last word of the night because Caitlin is here and not here to give it to us. So thank you all again for being here. And until 7 o'clock tomorrow night, everybody have a great night. We'll see you then. All right. Bye.